Uh, Hello, everyone. My name is Karthik. I am founder of CAW. At CAW, we are hyper-focused on one mission. That is, we are helping enterprise find ROI from their AI investments. We work with enterprise very closely. We study their business process to identify problem statements that can be best solved using AI. We develop rapid prototypes to demonstrate those solutions, and then finally we build them, we put guardrails in them, and we put them into productions. Now, AI is going to significantly change enterprise. And this insight we have heard multiple times in this conference itself. So I'm not going to bore you with that same insight again. Instead, I'm going to take the opportunity to share a real life example where a business process was incorporated with AI, and we saw significant improvement in efficiency and a positive impact on the bottom line. The example that I'm talking about involves drones and AI. Let me first talk about drones. See, drones were invented as toys, but then soon businesses started using them as part of their business process. Organization in disaster management, surveillance, logistics, healthcare, they've all employed drones to bring efficiency in their business process. See, when you put a camera to a drone, you essentially get eyes in remote locations. The images these drones capture then can be transferred to a remote location, and then humans can interpret these images, analyze them, and take actions. However, you still have dependency on humans here. When you introduce AI in it, AI can essentially do the same thing. They can also interpret, analyze, and take actions faster than humans, and as accurate, sometimes even more accurate than humans can. And that's what one of our clients witnessed. Now, the client I'm talking about is a coal mining giant, and the use case that I'm talking about is volumetric analysis of stockpile measurement. Now, it's a mouthful. Let me take 30 seconds to explain what does this use case means. See, Coal India or NTPC engages our client to dig coal mine. At the end of the month, all of the coal that was dug out is deposited at a site next to the mine. This is called stockpile. Now, our client sends a surveyor at the site to measure the volume of this coal that was extracted and publish a report. And this report goes to Coal India, and the client gets paid out. Now, traditionally, a client has used land-based survey to do this volumetric analysis. At the end of the month, they send a surveyor to the site with this apparatus, and it takes about 10 to 15 days for him to do entire analysis and publish the report. Now, this is a sufficient amount of delay, which causes a lot of pressure on cash flows. Plus, there's a health and safety issue because the person has to navigate the entire stockpile to get accurate measurement. The first thing we did in the first phase of this improvement, what we did was we switched to aerial-based survey using drones. Now, our client has a drone deployed at the site, and at the last day, when the entire stockpile is gathered, a pilot sends the drone and clicks a series of 2D photographs of the entire stockpile. The photographs look something of this kind. All these photographs are uploaded into a Google Drive folder, and then remotely a mining engineer downloads all these images. And then he uses a bunch of softwares. These softwares are legacy, but very powerful, very niche, and creates 3D models out of it. Now, using these 3D models, you can actually get the volume of the stockpile quite accurate. The accuracy is somewhere between 98 to 100%. Now, with this switch, they were able to bring down the time for generating reports to about 5 to 7 days. In the phase 2, we wanted to further bring down this time period, and there we employed AI. We looked at the business process, and we realized there is a lot of dependency on this mining engineer. First thing first, the mining engineer downloads all these photographs and manually navigates through all of them to find erroneous images and removes them. There's a concern about availability of this engineer. So say the images got uploaded on a Friday evening, but the engineer would only pick it up on Monday morning and start working on them. Then it takes sufficient training to teach him how to use this software. And say after a few months of training, say he decides to leave the organization, you have to repeat the entire process. So there were not only performance issues, there were also scale issues in going and surveying more sites. What we did was we used a bunch of visual models. We tried out Microsoft OmniParser and Quen's QWP model, combined it with Claude's computer use, and created an AI agent that could do the same work as what the mining engineer was doing. Of course, we put human in the loop so that at every intermediary step, whatever output was generated, the agent would send this output on a WhatsApp to a chief mining engineer just to get a feedback on what's the quality and whether the work is right or not. The chief mining engineer could actually give a feedback on WhatsApp, and the agent would then take that feedback and reattempt its work. But if things were looking good, the chief engineer would just tell it to go ahead, and it would go ahead and submit the report. And of course, there's a fallback implemented. So in case if the chief engineer wants to take over the process, they can interrupt the agent and take over it completely. Now, with this approach, we were able to bring down the total time to generate the report somewhere in a range of 24 to 48 hours. So from original 15 days, it came down to about 2 days. We also did one thing. This was an extra improvement where we took all these 3D models and created a web portal where they were uploaded, and we created something like a Google Earth interface where an officer from Coal India could actually engage with these 3D models himself. He could actually plot anywhere these points and compute the stockpile in real time. So with all these improvements, we were able to save about 10 to 15 man days per project. Our client does on an average of 10 projects a month, so this is an annual saving of 1,500 to 2,000 man days. When you translate this to financials, you overall save about 7.5 crores in this coming financial year. That's a huge amount of saving. This is almost 1 basis point improvement in your overall margins. See, I want to double click on a very important point here. See, the AI solution that we developed worked on the images. In our example, the images came from drones, but it could come from a CCTV camera, your mobile phone, it could come from a satellite as well. What we have observed in all the success stories we had so far, that you get the maximum ROI in those business processes where these two things are met first, where you deal with a lot of unstructured data, like audio, video, voice. It could be a blob of or a document of text. And the other thing is that business process involves a lot of human dependency at this point. Some other success stories where these two criteria were met, that we've really got definitive measurable efficiency in the systems, are when we develop voice agents for real estates and hospital. We did a code agent which could help migrate legacy code to the new ones, because code base is also essentially an unstructured data. And we're working with a legal firm to do issue spotting, where they look at a legal matter and they try to find which laws or penal codes that were violated. See, I want to conclude my session on this important point. We are still in the early stages of AI adoption in enterprises. We want to present these success stories so that we can trigger ideas, we can inspire you to think about use cases where these conditions are met in your organization, in your enterprise, and adopt AI first. See, the faster you adopt AI right now, you will see the maximum benefits in long term for it. We are here. If you have any ideas that you would like to brainstorm, you can meet me or any of my team members here. So that's it. Yeah. Any questions? Love to answer. Sorry, come again?
When you say that Coal India is going to save 7.5 CR, then what is the cost of owning that AI implementation?
Sure, one correction. The 7.5 crores is what our mining client will save. This is after the AI cost, all the implementation cost that goes out.
So year on year, that OPEX is already there, right?
Yes, right.
After
so there's,
that.
of course, a one-time CAPEX that is involved in building that solution. But then the operational cost of running that solution, that is adjusted when you're calculating the 7.5 crores.
Okay, great. So owning up that particular AI tool is better than the ROI. Okay, thank you.
And see, the cost of intelligence inference is coming down every week, so to say now. So I think you might find it a little expensive now, but you can be sure that in few months, the cost of AI would have halved to what it is right now. So there is no point in stopping any experimentation if you have cost concerns, because cost is definitely going to come down as we move forward.
Yeah, thank you.
Any more questions? Yes.
Hello. Hi. Just wanted to understand, like, for all of these analysis, you have used your own developed model, or like, are you using some publicly available LLMs?
So first of all, developing your own model is a very, very expensive proposition. And there are already a lot of both proprietary paid models and open source models out there. There is a lot of good solutions you can build on those. So to answer your question in short, we did not build our own models. We have used a combination of both a proprietary model and open source model. We had to do a little bit of fine tuning there because the legacy applications that we were using, these models didn't know how to use it. So we had to do that training there using computer vision. But yeah, we use combination of both open source and proprietary models to develop these solutions.
Are there any industries in which you people are specializing, or right now you are working on a more of a generic expertise for the AI?
Right. So we are as such a custom software development company. So we work based on requirements. So there's no particular industry that we are focused on as such. But the early wins have been where there's a lot of voice involved. So that anything related to sales and customer support. We have had good successes with core industries, mining being one. We have worked with a pharmaceutical company and as well as an EMI filter manufacturer. So we have kind of seen improvements or success stories across all industry verticals. Sure.
The question is, you guys are thinking about some regulations when you are proposing use of AI to your clients, or is there any concern discussion around that area?
Right. So see, first thing first, AI is nowhere ready to be used completely autonomously, right? You cannot allow processes to run squarely by AI agents. You need human to be in the loop. You need fallback mechanisms there. See, when it comes to regulatory framework, in India, nothing has been defined yet. It's very early stage, there are just discussions around. The only regulatory framework that has come out is from Europe, and which is very, very restrictive. I think it's only meant for them. So there's no as such published framework there. But as such, when we are initially designing the solution, we do a lot of testing. We use a lot of synthetic data generation to see if there are no biases or hallucination that is happening. There is a framework by IBM called Fairness 360, which we adopt a lot to just check the outputs are fair and it does not have biases. Any other questions? All right, thank you.